Welcome to ButcherBird, South Africa's fastest growing e-commerce hub. My name is Gascoigne Clark, and this is episode 1 of the ButcherBird Blueprint. We called it that because our colors are blue and we print money. This is Ilan Tate. He is my co-founder in ButcherBird. We are missing our third partner today. You'll see her soon. Ilan, introduce yourself.
My name is Ilan Tate. I am 26 years old. I've been in the e-com space for the past 3 years. I previously worked for Capital Club, the largest entrepreneurial network in the world, where I gathered a heap of experience, and now I bring that all to ButcherBird. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I've been building brands in South Africa for the last couple of years. I built Boob Sunscreen with Ilan Tate and our other partner. We built Schnoz Strips, and we have had a focus on product-based businesses, launching throughout retail all over South Africa and crushing it in the e-commerce space for the last 2 years. So before that, I've failed tons of times at tons of different things. I've been lucky enough to travel all over the world, build an amazing network, and now we're in South Africa doing some incredible work for clients here and clients internationally. The point of this podcast is to give you some insight into what actually goes on in ButcherBird, what it is that we get up to on a day-to-day, some insight behind the scenes and as to how it feels being in our shoes, and sharing some stories, and of course what ButcherBird actually is and what we do. So, yeah, cool. Okay, Q&As.
Let's go.
That's supposed to be the structure of this episode. So I'm going to start. My first question for you is, how did your entrepreneurial journey begin? What first inspired you to start a business?
I think what inspires every young future entrepreneur is money, let's be honest. Where my career started was with a ton of failures, a lot of mistakes, a lot of lessons learned. And I think the first actual business I had, it grew really fast, really rapidly, and that's a good thing, but it's also a very bad thing because I was very young, so everything went to shit because I didn't have good management skills.
What was that business?
It was a social media marketing company. We targeted a crypto space when no one was doing it. Hired all my best friends. It was crazy. We were making a lot of money, but we were doodling around all day. Really learned a lot of experiences from that. And then after that business closed, jumping from a bunch of jobs. I worked for a company, Capital Club, as I mentioned in my intro. The largest entrepreneur network in the world. They had 18-year-olds that were doing, $100,000, $200,000 a month on a dropshipping website with a product they've never even held before. I was shocked by this. It was like money that it would take me a year or 2 years to earn that, and they were doing it in a month at 18 years. So with a couple of failures in my pocket and a little bit of inspiration from a 19-year-old, we started building some successes.
That's awesome. That's cool. So money, you're only driven by money.
I'm driven by money and yeah, it's just money. So, Gascoigne, what was the turning point that made you realize your idea could become a genuine, real, successful business?
I think the first business that made me really excited was Boob, the sunscreen. And we had been working really hard for months on end, running around to different events, like really guerrilla marketing, trying to push this product. And when we got our first big retail deal, which was just weeks and weeks of knocking on doors, networking with the right people, I was like, oh, this is legitimate. Purchase order, like first ever purchase order from a big retailer after doing all of this guerrilla work. You're selling bits and bobs here and there, but okay, now someone's placed an order for 1,000 units. And it's like, cool. This is one retailer of many. It really validates that what you're working on has something in front of it. So that was a big turning point for me.
Might I ask what excited you about the brand so much? Because it's sunscreen, there's a lot of competitors. What really lit your fire for it?
When getting into sunscreen, I didn't actually know much about the industry at all. I don't think most people do. We just use whatever's there. Sunscreen is a grudge purchase. You start burning and then you're scared, so you buy sunscreen and you use it. There's a niche market of people who understand that natural and organic sunscreens are good for you and good for your skin, but I didn't know this, and most people I know didn't know this. So mass market sun care is readily available, so people think it's an incredibly saturated market. But when the opportunity presented itself, I started doing some research and realized that the organic trend for cosmetics is huge. It's huge internationally, it's big in South Africa, and I saw a nice gap. You have an incredibly saturated chemical sunscreen market in South Africa, but that doesn't mean the entire market is saturated. You have these subsectors of the industry, such as natural and organic sunscreens. And when I looked at the formulations that we had compared to the other supposedly natural sunscreens in the space, I thought we were leaps and bounds ahead. And so that really excited me. I'm passionate about making a difference. I believe in impact capitalism. If the product is beneficial, if it's going to be good for people, good for the planet, that's awesome. I try to stay away from things that won't be. So the fact that there was an exciting market segment that we could tackle with a unique edge, and B, we're making a positive difference, double whammy.
Absolutely. You guys were ahead of the game with that. I mean, the world's taking a big turning to healthy products. No sugar, less sugar, no caffeine, blah, 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 all the healthy options. And you guys, 2 years ago, started thinking about, this is a market that no one's thinking about making healthy. And I mean, it's probably the most proven product that goes on someone's skin that causes cancer, and no one was really looking at it and
well,
saying...
that's what's mind-blowing with sunscreens. It's that no one knows that most sunscreens on shelf are causing cancer.
Hell yeah.
There are carcinogens like octocrylene in almost every product on shelf, which are now being pulled off of shelves in Australia, in the US, and the EU. They're being banned, and that's in, I won't call out the big brand names, but you know them. Look at the back of your sunscreen bottle. You'll see avobenzone, octocrylene, oxybenzone. These are carcinogenic. They disrupt hormones. Like, this is gnarly stuff that you're putting on your skin. And here comes a challenger brand, bootstrapped, named Boob, having a damn good time while making a positive impact, you know?
There's only one thing I can say to that. Who don't love some boob?
Yep, who don't love some boob? The dad jokes, the dad jokes fly. If you can recall, what was a very early challenge that you faced that you were able to solve, but was tough?
It's a very good question.
Nothing holds me back.
Nothing holds me back.
I have no challenges.
Well, in my first business, I could put you in my shoes to give you a bit of an idea. Imagine never doing marketing before in your life, starting a business with 12 of your best mates, paying them an absolute ton of money, taking from 3 different clients over $12,000, and not knowing what the hell to do. We scrambled. We did everything that was just wrong. Like, we just did everything wrong.
And how long did that last?
That lasted a good year and a half. We were just winging it. We really were. We just didn't know anything, and we were just getting by, getting paid. I mean, we had retention rates of 4 months with some customers. What were you paying 4 months for? And I think, the big pivot was that we were doing everything except the right thing. Ads.
Yeah, so I was going to say, how did that change then? Like, taking away from that, what are you doing and what are we doing now? Do you think that's different to what years ago when you were in this setup and things went horribly wrong?
Well, I think when you've done absolutely everything that you could possibly do wrong, you can narrow down to what not to do and what to do.
Yeah.
So everything we hadn't done, we just started doing, and everything we were doing, we stopped. And it created a success. And perseverance as well. Things sometimes, I had a company, Pure Tea. It was a Tonga Ali bottle. We started ads. I put a bloody crazy budget, as high as Meta would allow me to spend from day one, with 1 or 2 graphics, and I would let it run, and I wouldn't make money in 2 days, and I would stop it and then turn it on back a month later or a week later because I felt inspired by it again, and then I would turn it off after a week.
I can tell you that's a very bad strategy.
Yeah.
That's not going to go well.
There was no perseverance, there was no consistency. I didn't learn it well. I just thought you could throw money at something and it would generate, and that is not the case. It takes strategy, it takes a plan.
Can I ask you, in this previous business where things fell through, you employed 12 of your best mates and everyone had a bit of a party. From an organizational perspective, what have you taken away from that? And, you wouldn't put yourself in the same position again, I imagine, but how have you learned from that, from an organizational perspective as well as a talent perspective, in choosing the people that you work with and how you organize them? Very long-winded question.
This is a long-winded question, indeed. Yeah. Well, to start with that question, you and I became partners, and then we became friends,
Yeah.
which is good because we had a common goal in mind, and then along the path of achieving that goal together, we found we have a lot in common, and we could be brothers, right? But where you start as a friend, and you all of a sudden put goals and misconceptions and things that just misalignments between your mates and yourself, that can go quite catastrophic. In simpler terms, you go in the same path, whereas your friend and you might be on a completely different path, and you can't force someone on their wrong path. You know, it's just going to end
And then money
bad.
gets involved too, and it gets messy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Money gets involved. It gets messy. It's don't work with your friends. Work with partners, colleagues.
And if you become friends,
That's
great.
it. Yeah, if you become friends at the end, cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So, Gascoigne, what's one lesson from your first venture that still guides you up until this very day?
If I think of the earliest lessons, I had been involved in a couple of businesses, software business that I didn't know how to code, it went terribly wrong. I was did a clothing business, also was difficult, taught me a lot, actually evolved into something else that's still going today. But early lessons, I was building a fish business. We were involved in sustainable fish farming, and we were trying to test whether or not there was a market for sustainably farmed tilapia at a specific price point in South Africa, in the mass market. And in doing so, determine whether there was a business case for a huge project where we would build a farm doing 5,000 tons of fish a year that we would can and sell to compete with big brands like Lucky Star. Obviously sustainably farmed, so big impact, big positive planet impact. But throughout this process, there were all sorts of issues. But I had to spend 2 months in a row working in a food truck that we were setting up in Tembisa every morning at 4 a.m. and we were selling raw fish on the side of the road for 2 months straight, from 4 a.m. till 7, 8 p.m. And we did it day in and day out. Wake up at 4, prepare all the fish, drive the truck out, food truck set up, stand there, sell fish all day, every day. And it was damn hard, and it was a dismal failure. We couldn't get near the rate of sale that we needed to. But it taught me discipline. And it was discipline because that entire process failed. The business fell through. The business case didn't come to life. And it felt like that from day one. It felt like it wasn't going to work. But no one, the investors, the internal founding team, no one would have known unless we did it. And this 2-month process of testing and learning and failing and ultimately taking away a massive failure allowed us to move on. It allowed us to recognize the learning, this business case didn't work, and give us the next bit of direction. Allow us to move on, go on to the next best thing. And it was discipline that did that, not motivation. And I think so many people are looking for motivation day in and day out. It's getting out of bed, going to the gym, trying to work on your startup idea, trying to take your business to the next level. They're looking for motivation, but motivation fades super fast. It's gone quickly. I was motivated in the start of that project, and that motivation disappeared quick. But discipline is habitual. It's trained. And that felt like training camp. Horrible job. Hated doing it, but out of it, discipline gets you answers. Discipline gets you an end result. So we founded ButcherBird, and it's been an epic journey so far. Can you tell the audience how the idea for ButcherBird first took shape?
Absolutely. So this brand over here, Schnorr Strips, it is owned by myself, Gascoigne, and our third partner, Kathleen. She's unfortunately not here today. She'll be present in the next ones. We did really well in the South African market at a very fast pace. So obviously our minds started wondering, okay, bigger, better, how do we hit a bigger market? And within our learnings of how to expand our market, we found it's really hard because 3PLs, distribution centers, are exceptionally expensive. And as a startup that's doing well, yeah, you can be doing well in your country, but our currency sucks. So all of a sudden, getting these quotes of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 when you don't even know if it's going to work out, it's pretty hard. And to put your stock there and take the risk. So we thought, all these things are it's hard. It's hard to find. It's overpriced. So we thought, okay, South Africa, we could be that 3PL for overseas brands. And so we thought we could provide the same type of service that we were looking for these overseas brands. However, very quickly we came to the realization that we're going to start with local brands. We need to build a case study. We need to build a brand name. We need to see how it works. And along that journey, we found the values that we were actually providing. So at first, we thought it was going to be a quick plug and play, but it wasn't. We actually started building people's brands, and from the amount of work that goes into packing orders all day, producing the sales, and blah blah blah. We quickly realized, okay, literally, we quickly realized why these 3PL companies / marketing companies charge the way they do. So from us searching for something like ButcherBird and not finding it, we decided to create it out of the success of our own brands. So we learned how to do it. We learned the formula. We learned the source.
So let me talk about the formula quickly. So it was like, yeah, we couldn't get it right with anyone else. You want it done right, do it yourself.
Absolutely.
So we do everything for e-commerce in-house.
Absolutely.
We create all the ads from scratch with our creative team. We pick and pack the orders. We do all the email marketing. We run ads. We optimize ad campaigns.
Find your ambassadors. Build your warm audience.
We do influencers and ambassadors.
Nitty gritty, the back end stuff that no one wants to do.
Yeah, and all the technical crap.
Oh yeah.
But
and setup.
Yeah, setup. It's a big machine to get in place. I think that's the big thing for me in conversations lately with new clients. The barrier to entry for e-commerce is so high for a lot of people. You don't understand this technical beast. You want to start engaging with Meta, with Google. It's completely new to you. It's tough to engage with. So you then go and start to outsource different people to do these different things. And they all charge you lots of money, and they all focus on niche aspects of the e-commerce ecosystem. You've got the 3PLs, you've got the email marketing agency, you've got the ads agency, you've got the content studios, and you're probably outsourcing all of them if you want this full stack. And maybe you do parts of it yourself. But that then costs an arm and a leg. And now you're screwed. Now you start paying for your ads, and they all blame each other, and they blame you. There's zero accountability.
Fighting rising cost per purchase with your ads.
Cost per purchase shoots up. It's a mess. That's what Boob went through. And that's why when I met you guys with Schnoz, it was like, okay, cool. There's such good synergy here. I was crushing retail. You guys were crushing e-commerce. We combined the skill sets on both sides. And all of a sudden, we had a machine.
We got the re-commerce.
We got the re-commerce. It's a new line.
It's a new one.
Re-commerce. Retail, e-commerce. But yeah, I mean, Boob had gone through 4 different marketing agencies over the course of 2 years, trying to find the right partners who can A, be accountable, and B, perform. I got to the point where I thought, maybe my product isn't going to work. It's like, this can't be sold online profitably. It doesn't make any sense. Today, we sell like crazy online. It's fantastic. We've got the setup to do so and to execute across all these different channels.
We're the best agency in the country because we're founders ourselves. We have built our own brands from nothing. Not one brand, not 2 brands. We didn't get lucky. Built multiple brands from absolutely nothing. We have the formula. Biggest problem with marketing companies, as from the beginning of the podcast you would have heard from my first marketing company, we just took your money and didn't know what the f we were doing. But at this time, I'd never built my own brand. I had no proof in the pudding. And failure upon failure, I got my proof. And I built my own brands, and the proof is now in the pudding. That is why we are the best, most trusted agency, because we have our own brands. These other guys, they don't have brands. Their brand is to onboard you, get your retainer, and then spray and pray.
Yeah, and then they have these churn rates, so they don't mind plowing through customers as long as they've got new customers coming in, new retainers, tie you into nice long contracts.
Absolutely.
But the execution lacks because they're missing core components. Almost all of them are missing, whether that be the warehouse, the emails, the ads, the ambassadors, all of them need to flow together really well if you want to execute properly. So, shall we move on?
Hell yeah.
Is it my turn or your turn?
It's my turn to ask you a question.
All right, shoot.
How do you define success as entrepreneurs today?
how do I define success? I think as long as you are content executing on a daily basis, that should be success enough. You'll achieve your goals in 2 years' time and you will want more. I know, because I know you, I know because I know me, we'll build ButcherBird to 10 times its size and we'll want something else. Human beings are constantly chasing the next shiny object, the next golden ticket. So I think most people define success in long durations of time with specific end results, and that's nice, but it's a moving target and it'll continue to move. If you can find contentment in what you're doing on a daily basis, and of course it's challenging, but if you can find contentment in that process, in the present moment, I think that's success as it is. There's a lot of guys who are incredibly happy working day jobs and being part of a bigger corporate structure. There's a lot of people super happy making little money at all. Success is being content in the current moment. And so for entrepreneurs specifically, if you're on a mission, you need to realize that you're unique on that mission. And I think what most entrepreneurs don't do is enjoy the process. It's like this grind that we're in now with the new brands that we want to grow, the difficulty, it's like those are the moments that we will miss and want to find more of when we achieve the end result.
Absolutely.
That journey is what we should take patience and presence in. And like that's the success there. The fact that you're doing it.
Yeah.
And if you feel that way about doing it, you're going to do it better. You're going to work overtime. You're going to work the long nights, and the end result's going to probably come faster.
Absolutely. Everything you pick up on the way. If I just had to give you
$1 billion.
I'll give you $1 billion, big house, big
Yeah.
car. You never work for it. You don't have the networks that you got to achieve all these things, the friendships, the memories.
Yeah.
And you just go in the house, you have the car. What would you do?
Yeah.
You walk around your big house by yourself and drive around your car, and eventually it would just feel like nothing. It would feel like every day.
Think about all of the clients that we engage with and the network that we're building with our clients, the clients intertwined. The creation of value in our little circles in the ButcherBird network is already incredible. The fact that we're engaging with, some of these clients are becoming our friends, you know? This journey is the life that we're living.
Everyone has that one friend, you know, that has that old rich uncle that sits there and says the most fucking crazy story about within his journey of while he was making all his money. And it's cool. You want to be that old man one day with all those crazy stories on your journey and what you did and how you did it to achieve it. Absolutely.
So success is becoming a crazy old uncle.
Crazy old uncle. Let's go.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, can you walk us through the very early days in ButcherBird and the challenges that popped up? Immediate difficulties.
Everything was a challenge. We walked in here, it was a mess. We had to start picking and packing, we had to start building out emails. We had to start doing everything that, you know, we could do it at one company at a time, but now all of a sudden we had 9 companies all stacked on top of each other. It was really, really, really crazy. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I mean, what were some of the challenges?
Everything.
It was really hard.
Yeah, I thought I missed something in the question, but I answered it. Everything was the challenge.
Okay, so everything was challenging. How's it doing now? And how are the clients? Because I think we did a fucking incredible job.
Oh yeah, we're 3 months in. We started with everything going wrong.
We've hired
4 or 5
We have doubled the
employees
size of the team
have
in 2
already
months.
been hired. So as this kind of sets the tone, there's a lot changed in a very, very short amount of time. We got out with the rotten and in with the healthy. You know, we're all driven here for one common purpose, and that is to grow and succeed. So very, very fast, we got the picking and packing in order. We got stock take properly. We have the best fulfillment rates. We sat up day and night looking for literally what is the best rate that we can provide at a mass scale towards our clients and our own brands.
And that's a game changer. We've negotiated on courier providers for the best rates in the country. We've negotiated on payment providers for the best rates in the country.
Yeah, and when you have saving 2, 3, 4% and you have quantities of thousands of orders a day, people don't realize how much money that is they left on the table.
Yeah.
The staff, I mean, it's been great management. We've delegated very, very well. No one starts knowing what to do, but I can say 2 months later, everyone knows what to do. Everyone knows their role. Everyone knows their place. Everyone exceeds, goes beyond, you know.
Yeah, we've got a very passionate young team.
Yeah, office times are from 8 to 5. It's 6 o'clock. Everyone's still here. You know, it's everyone's pushing us. Not because we're forcing them to be here, but because they don't want to leave. They have work to do.
Staying behind.
Morgan, you don't want to leave. I have a point to prove. Gotta
Turn
take
it
this to the CCMA.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'm done with that one.
All right. So,
It's my favorite part.
Gascoigne, I have a question for you. How did you decide to expand from running your own brands to wanting to help other brands grow? We could have set this up and just made 10 of our own brands and just run them. Why did we bring anyone else on our ship?
Okay, it's 2 reasons. For me, at least. The first reason is the nice reason. That's my favorite part. I've said this to you a couple of times. I say to the clients, like, I love the conversations where we get to sit down and pick apart the problems within someone's business, break down the systems, think about pricing, think about how we can adjust things. Like, that's the game I love to play. How can we take whatever your structure is and optimize it for success? And the rate at which we've done that for the 12 clients who've been onboarded in the last 2, now almost 3 months, has been awesome. Like, I love being on the long calls with the clients. It takes a ton of my time, but I love being on those calls, breaking apart their systems and thinking about how we can optimize every little piece.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I've loved building Schnoz and building Boob because of that process. I love the building. I love thinking about how we can tweak every aspect of the system from a product perspective, a brand perspective, to maximize its potential.
I'd just like to jump in and just ask why we're so different to every other agency.
Yeah.
What other agency? I think you call each client 3 times a day.
I'm on the phone with Frank at 9 at night, talking to him about how we can change his offers.
Bro,
it's crazy.
I've heard you on the call when he's sitting there with his wife having supper at like 9 o'clock. Janine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really, really.
But the
really
second
cool.
reason is ButcherBird is not meant to be a small business. I think we have the potential, and we're already doing it, to build the future for digital commerce in South Africa and beyond. This is a full stack solution, which we behind the scenes are in the process of digitizing, making seamless for any of our clients and beyond. We've got all sorts of offers that we're building, and servicing these clients was a validation for us and all the future clients who come on board. It's about creating an environment where their success is seamless, and being able to stress test ourselves. Like, okay, we crushed it with Schnoz, we crushed it with Boob. How can we crush it for everybody else? Can we? You know, question answered, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Our formula for success is totally there.
Oh, yeah.
New client comes on board, we can say with confidence that we can do this better than anybody else. And so, taking that forward, I think it's given us a platform, a foundation off of which everything we build now is packed with potential and trustworthy. And I would never want to offer something out into the world, a platform that we build, a new service that we offer, if I wasn't 100% sure, based on hard evidence, that we can do an incredible job. And so, instead of just going and building another brand, my vision for ButcherBird is to create something much bigger. Yes, for our own brands that we build, the next brands that we launch, but also to be accessible for all entrepreneurs who are building brands and interested in e-commerce.
So, if I might ask, is this your vision for 5 years, or do you see ButcherBird even bigger, more than that, within 5 years? What is the end point for ButcherBird?
I think the next year is going to be incredibly exciting for ButcherBird. We're doing, it's like speaking to you as if you don't know. We are building an incredible platform, and the services that we currently offer, the stack that we've provided, is being digitized. We're adding levels of automation beyond whatever the manual processes that we see now. The goal being seamless e-commerce with everything under one roof. And I think that's going to happen in the next few months. And so that's exciting. That gives us the potential to massively grow ButcherBird locally and beyond.
This is going to be an amazing platform, this one.
Yeah, so in the short term, I think ButcherBird is going to grow at a rapid rate. we need to be careful. We don't want to grow too fast. We know what that leads to. So it's about growing incrementally as we can manage it. But the service we offer and we're building is going to be incredibly exciting.
Absolutely.
I think 5 years from now, it's going to be a completely different picture. I see ButcherBird as a global platform 5 years from now for sure, and beyond. But I think there's so much that we're doing that to think 5 years from now is like, there's no point. We're thinking about what we can do in the next 5 minutes. Being sitting in these chairs right now means that we're now 2 hours behind on so much that we can be building.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
So we got through maybe 10 of the 50 questions. We're obviously not very good at this. Money.
Dollar
Money.
bills, yeah. I had more dollar bills than you, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, it
But
took longer to ask the questions.
You got another question? Shoot.
What legacy do you want ButcherBird to leave in African entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Oh man, we're already talking about legacy. I think Africa is slept on. The e-commerce world in Africa is already leaps and bounds ahead. Look at what Checkers 6060 has done. It's arguably the most impressive last mile delivery e-commerce platform in the world. So Africa is slept on globally. The e-commerce market is exploding in Africa, and there is not a hub that is a driving force with a full stack solution for e-commerce in South Africa. It's fragmented, it's under-potentialized. I want ButcherBird to lead the charge, to empower entrepreneurs and businesses across South Africa and beyond to accelerate their e-commerce setup and take advantage of this wave, which is going to be a mass adoption of e-commerce throughout Africa. And that's going to catch up to the rest of the world very quickly. And we are positioned to lead that charge, which excites the hell out of me. In signing off, it was a good first episode. Hold on.
Good first episode.
Yeah.
And one final thing.
One final thing.
If you want to be bowling, you got to be all in. Zoom into my face for that. When we bowling, you got to be all in.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It's going to get better. It's onwards and upwards from here, but stick around to watch the ButcherBird journey. This was episode 1 of the ButcherBird blueprint. I'm not sure how much blueprinting we did, but yeah, stick around. It's going to be cool.